what it takes to be over. Now, the comments Triple H responded to were from Damian Priest, and the former world champion would state that he's sick of seeing the same names pushed to the moon in the company. Now, these comments from Priest were completely justified, and it was rather bold of him to say this publicly, as it could have impacted his standing in the company. In response to Priest, Triple H went on a long and winding rant, and he stated that the top performers in WWE have earned their spot and are selling tickets. Look, I get that. If you're the guy that wants to take the spot, it's frustrating when there's guys above you that have the spot. And that's the thing. We're in a period of time where there's a lot of top performers in top spots that over time have earned those spots and are selling tickets and are incredibly popular. So you really have to do something. The narrative of, "It's my turn, I've been here for a while," there's no turns. That's not how it works. You earn a spot. These initial comments, without a doubt, need dissecting. WWE right now is struggling to sell tickets. SmackDown last week barely had 5,000 fans in attendance, and this show had names such as CM Punk and Cody Rhodes featured on the broadcast. The top superstars in the WWE promotion right now. It ultimately means that the product isn't remotely hot, so even established names aren't even moving the needle in terms of ticket sales. Granted, ticket sales remain extremely expensive, yet the top names just aren't moving as many tickets as they were 2 to 3 years ago. Additionally, SummerSlam suffered a similar fate this year. Despite names such as Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar wrestling on the card, the attendance was down significantly compared to last year. The stadium was half empty, and tickets only began to move when WWE reduced ticket prices to $25 a ticket. But this was only done in the later stages of selling the PLE. It was also worth noting that the WWE creative output isn't in the best place right now. WWE has been delivering a subpar product for over a year, and the big names can't say what has been a rough time in the creative department. But Triple H is also a hypocrite for saying this. When he was given his big break in 1999 in the main event scene, it was a hot topic amongst the fans that the game wasn't over enough for a main event level run. Nobody at that time was purchasing a ticket just to see the game in action. Even Stone Cold Steve Austin agreed, and this reportedly contributed to Austin not putting the game over at SummerSlam 1999. This doesn't exclusively apply to Triple H, yet there have been countless times WWE has put names in the main event picture who weren't getting any fan reactions. It always comes down to what the head booker wants to deliver on TV, and to say it's exclusively about popularity and ticket sales is completely disingenuous. Triple H would go on to say that if somebody is getting more over than somebody else, he needs to move them into the spot. He would even add that it's not just linked to the crowd reactions, he has to determine whether they're going to be good in their spot. If somebody's getting over more than somebody else, we move that person into the spot, move the other person down. But it's not just that. It's not just they're getting the loud crowd reaction. Are they going to be good in the spot? Are they going to hold up their end of the bargain? Are they going to screw up if we give it to them? Now, when Triple H said this, fans instantly knew who he was talking about. He was talking about LA Knight. Knight has been one of the most over acts in the company for years now, and he still hasn't had a world title reign. It's been theorized that Triple H has a personal dislike of Knight, and this was literally seen on screen with a tense exchange on WWE Unreal. Knight breaks the mold as he's very much like CM Punk was during his initial run, where he spoke his mind, and when he does media, he will openly speak out regarding how lackluster his booking is. Triple H won't like this, and Triple H is clearly talking about Knight here. It was also rumored that Triple H may not like the amount of times LA Knight has botched spots over the years. Yet if WWE can give countless pushes to Jey Uso, who botches on a number of occasions, Knight could easily receive a reign. Knight now finds himself in a world title feud with Roman Reigns, and whilst it's fantastic to see Knight in this role, it's all but guaranteed he's going to lose. The interesting thing about this feud is that Reigns is missing a ton of TV dates next month, so WWE has clearly booked Reigns with Knight, so Knight can build a world title PLE match by himself. Therefore, it's rather interesting that WWE trusts LA Knight to carry a major program by himself, but they don't trust him enough to have a reign as world champion. So how do talent succeed? The game would continue by sharing his personal experience running WWE Creative. He stated that he's seen talent succeed because of what they do, not because of creative. I've seen a million talents succeed because of what they do, not because of our storyline creative that they gave them the spot. 99% of the time in this business, the person gets over, then gets the push. That's how it works. That's how it's supposed to work. You gotta do then, we follow it, because otherwise, most of the time, they will choke on it if it's not what the fans believe in. And this makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Triple H is basically saying that talent can succeed without the creative team getting behind them? How the hell is this supposed to work in practice? If a wrestler is becoming popular, but they aren't being featured in major storylines, how the hell is that supposed to ultimately lead to a push? Right now, Triple H is really starting to act and sound like Vince McMahon in certain aspects of his booking philosophy. When McMahon ran WWE, he resented the fact that wrestlers got over on their own. Names such as Daniel Bryan, Rusev, Zack Ryder, and even names such as Becky Lynch weren't WWE manufactured acts, in the sense that they weren't supposed to get over to the level they did. When it comes to names such as Daniel Bryan, McMahon loathed the fact that Bryan got over on his own, so much so that he purposely tried to manipulate the audience and have the Big Show take over Bryan's gimmick. Naturally, it backfired, and due to the crowd response, WWE had no choice but to commit to Bryan being the guy for a brief period. Whilst nothing like this has happened yet in the Triple H era, it'll be interesting to see how LA Knight will be booked if he ever receives a run with the world title. Will Triple H purposely sabotage the reign, or will he let him shine? Triple H finished his comments by stating that if a wrestler wants a spot, they just need to take it. Naturally, this has also led to criticism, as again, if wrestlers aren't featured in roles, how are they supposed to take a spot? It's not possible in any way, and Triple H has been around long enough to know that this isn't how pro wrestling works, and it will never be how the pro wrestling world works. The game will then ask if any of the names fans are rooting for are more over than the list of names, and this once again brought the discussion back to LA Knight. Big believer in if you want the spot, go take it. It's all there for anyone to take. Whenever anybody says, I don't know why I'm not in that spot, are you more over than Cody? More over than Roman, Punk, Liv, Io? People in that spot? Get there. Make those crowd reactions. Whatever you need to make it happen, that's what we're all here for. And Knight is without a doubt as over as any of these names listed. You could even argue that names such as Finn Balor, Penta, and Chad Gable are over as some of the names Triple H referenced here. Fans have also been quick to call out Triple H's booking of Bron Breakker. Breakker was incredibly over with the crowd, and just a year ago, you could literally receive a thunderous reaction just by looking at the camera in a certain way. Breakker's been demoted to a lackey in the Vision, but whilst it looks like he's going to be rebuilt with a program with Obafemi, Triple H needs to address why the company has dropped the ball with him so hard. At one point in time, he was being labeled as the next John Cena. In 2026, he's been eclipsed by Obafemi in every single way. The chances of Breakker now becoming the face of the company seem extremely slim. Yet who knows where the trajectory of WWE is going to go. So what is Triple H's mentality? The game would note that he loves the mentality of wrestlers being upset, as it makes them work harder. This comment is also short-sighted, as it doesn't always happen. CM Punk was upset in 2014 and he walked out of the company, which of course didn't lead him to working harder in any capacity. Dominic Mysterio, despite last year being one of the most over acts in the entire company, now finds himself in a rut. Mysterio defeated John Cena in Cena's final PLE match last year, and since then, his career has gone downhill. Mysterio is now showing up to SummerSlam looking completely dejected because he's about to wrestle a comedic character in a gimmick, something straight out of WCW 2000. It's been reported that Mysterio is legit upset with WWE creative, and he doesn't understand why his Triple H presentation is so much different. Mysterio is even referencing his dissatisfaction with his booking via X, and it looks like WWE is now punishing him with a losing streak on television. What's Triple H's reasoning for this? He stated at SummerSlam that a wrestler just needs to get over and have good matches. Mysterio was doing just that, so what's the excuse? The game would likely try to incorporate X factors such as injuries into his answer, yet virtually every name he mentioned as being insanely over have suffered major injuries, and they didn't remotely lose their place on the card. Ultimately, it was just a stupid answer from Triple H that doesn't hold up in any capacity. Triple H should have probably said that he understands the frustration from names such as Priest, and he will do his best to give talent opportunities with the TV time the WWE's allocated. He could have even put Priest and other names over by addressing their work in a positive manner, and he could have spun it to make it look like he had